So this is my standard deck I use for the competitive play. I'm going to be going over which legendary creatures I use and why. Start on the high end and work our way down. I think the first one we've got is Mondrak, Glory Dominus. The deck we run is pretty heavily token based between creatures and +1s, so pretty much anything we can get in there in standard that allows us to compound the activations of those abilities makes the deck just that much more effective. Moving down, we've got Linden, Vigilance, 3-drop, all white. Whenever we enter a creature, through some other effects that we prioritize. Whenever a creature enters, we gain life. We have other stuff in here that allows us to gain more life when we gain life. But this one makes it so that when we attack with our white creatures, we also gain life. When I first started this entire theme of the decks to be competitive, there were cards in rotation that would allow us to play lands, gain life, play creatures, gain life, attack with creatures, gain life, creatures died, gain life, tap land, gain life, opponent's creatures died, gain life. So it was pretty intense when I first started this, and I don't really kind of struggle to keep it entirely in rotation, honestly. This Polychronos, we use this for his transformed version, as well as being a relatively low mana drop with the 3 solid greens. So when this says, whenever Polychronos or another non-token Hydra dies, create a 3/3 green and white Hydra, and another 3/3 green and white Hydra with different abilities, one with reach, one with life joint. It's essentially just the Polychronos splitting in half. That's these 2 tokens here. And then we've got Queen Alanal of Rudak. I believe this is from the Lord of the Rings set. This is power and toughness are each equal to the number of creatures we control, and also does the bonus tokens. So that's that gets pretty intense late game if we drop that all of a sudden. I'm moving down some more. We've got Phineas, Ace Archer, from one of the recent sets. I don't really know which one it is, honestly. But this says that whenever Phineas attacks, we put a +1 on each creature that we control that's a token or a rabbit. So we've got some rabbits in here that allow us to gain life when the creatures enter. We've got a bunch of effects that allow us to just create tokens, and then, like this guy, but not quite to the extent that he does it, also allows us to beef up our created tokens. Sorry, I forgot Erebos. This guy buffs our cats, and I keep forgetting to put him in here, but Leonin War Leader's supposed to be in here, so that we can get the cat typing satisfied and the token creation from the cats satisfied, because right now we've got some pretty decent cats in here, but we don't have, really, honestly, other than Erebos, when a non-token cat enters, create a 1/1 white cat token. But he also beefs up our cats. So we've got to get... let's actually see if I can put him in here. And it looks like he's out of standard rotation at the moment. So I'm not actually really worried about this land in Vanguard. It seems like it's decent, but it's really only if you can get and maintain that 3 creature bonus. And those are temporary +1s. I don't really try to go for the temporary effects. I like stack trigger effects that allow us to hit multiple creature activations at the same time, like this. This is whenever a creature you enter control, whenever you control a creature that enters, you gain a life. So that's Case of the Uneaten Feast, but that's outside of what we're doing at the moment, the whole legendary creatures thing. So we're going to move on from our standard deck into the alchemy deck. That's so for this, we're going to start high, go low again. This is Osier Tak, Deepest Foundation. This is from I think it's Ixalan, one of those sets with the dinosaurs and the whole Aztec theme. This says 1 or more creature tokens would be created under your control. 3 times that many of those tokens are created instead. And when this dies, you can return it to the battlefield as this land over here that says pay 3, tap, transform this back into Osier. But only if you've attacked with 3 or more creatures this turn, which if you can pop off any activation of those tokens off his initial ability from the creature form, that'll let you in back pretty quickly. I've done that a few times. We've got Cerise, Slayer of Fear. First strike, lifelink, 5/5 for 5 mana. At the beginning of your second main phase, if you've gained life, seek a card with the highest mana value from your library with mana value less than or equal to the amount of life that you've gained this turn. And as you'll see as we go through the rest of the effects in this deck, if we get a good board state on here, there's not really anything that we can't play. Not really that just because of the relatively low mana cost or mana curve of the overall deck, but because of how much life we gain in a turn. We've got Biza, Bounding Spring. When it enters, you create a treasure token. If the opponent has more lands than you, you gain life. If they have more life than you, you get 2 blue fish if they've got more creatures. And you draw a card if they have more cards in hand than you. So basically, if the opponent's up on you and you need some fix for that, play Biza. Go down the line a little bit. We've got Elenda, Saint of Dusk. Lifelink, hexproof from instants. As long as your life total is greater than your starting life total, Elenda gets +1/+1 and has menace. And if your life total is 10 more than your starting life total, she gets another +5, which is pretty decent considering our deck is mainly based off the life gain aspects. Going down more, we've got Lathril, Blade of the Elves. Whenever Lathril deals combat damage to a player, create that many 1/1 green elf warrior creature tokens. As you'll see quickly as we go through the rest of the effects in here, that quickly becomes more than a 2/3. And then with the tapping elves, you can unsummon the opponent from the green pretty quickly. So we were having a issue with the mana split between the white, green, and black in here, and then I found some of these ley lines, which aren't legendary creatures, but they are pretty decent cards, given that if they're in your starting hand, you don't pay the mana cost. You can just drop that thing onto the field. It doesn't force you to, so if you don't want to, you don't have to, but there's not, from my experience, not really a reason you would have one in your deck that you didn't want to drop it on that first turn. Like this is permanent mana fix. Like, any mana is every mana. There's no more mana screw. You're good. That's another ley line that's just in there to help with the creature beefing, and the double strike. Links up nice with the trample it's got on it. This is Linden, the Steadfast Queen. We went over her in the standard deck. Arabo's in the standard deck as well. There's a lot of stuff that crosses over between the two. However, this is that war leader we were talking about. This guy's a 4/4 4-drop. Says whenever this creature attacks, create 2 1/1 lifelink cats that are tapped into attacking. So they don't have the summoning sickness. They bypass the need for haste. You just drop them straight into the field, and they're doing damage, gain, and life for you. And if you've got Phineas on there with so I've tried this. When Phineas and the Leonin War Leader are on the field at the same time and you attack with both of them, the cats actually drop onto the field before the +1 counter effect from Phineas triggers. So you go from getting an instant 2 life to an instant 4 life, whether those creatures survive the combat phase or not. And then you have, between Phineas, the War Leader, the 4/4, so Phineas is a 2/2, the War Leader is a 4/4, and then those 2 1/1 cats that drop in would instantly become 2/2s each. So you have 10 total power, triggering Phineas's draw card effect. Like, it's wonderful. The combos in this deck are insane if they can all be gotten out. A lot of the issue I deal with at the moment is that I don't build for combating the opponent's deck itself. My strategy is more to win mentally. I have a lot of times where the opponent quits just because of how many abilities trigger when things happen. So going into our lower legendary creatures, we've got Basri, Tomorrow's Champion. He says exert Basri. It just basically doesn't untap on your next untap step. He taps for 2 turns instead of 1. You create a 1/1 cat with lifelink, or you can cycle him. And when you cycle him, cats you control gain hexproof and indestructible until end of turn. Not cat tokens, just cats. So that'll trigger onto Erebos, the Leonin War Leader, the other few cats that are in here, all the tokens. Who else do we got? Actually, I think that's it for the legendary creatures that I use, because I really only play Standard and Alchemy at the moment. I haven't broken into any of the other formats. So I'm gonna drop out of this, go start recording another video. Comment, like, and subscribe, guys. I get like 100% of my viewers not subscribed, so thank you guys, and talk to you later.